We're back. Welcome back to another episode of the Seven Figures or Bust podcast, the number one podcast in the world growing your insurance business. This intro getting more and more ridiculous all the time.
Welcome back.
No.
Your favorite ESI nationalist is here today.
Oh, scheiße. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Seven Figures or Bust podcast, number one podcast in the world for growing your insurance business. This is episode 154. I'm Christian Brindle, joined with Glenn Shelton, and got a great show for you guys today on a Friday. We're going to be giving some stuff away to a couple of lucky individuals.
A little bonus episode today for you guys. We don't normally go live on Friday, but we technically had our ESI kickoff webinar all day Monday, so we didn't have a podcast on Monday. So we wanted to give you a bonus episode today. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but we're also giving away free Medicare supplement. Sorry, Medicare Pre-Set Appointments. Free Medicare Pre-Set Appointments with scope of appointment for Freebie Friday. Today, you have a chance to win 10 preset appointments from Lead Heroes for free. So we're going to get into that a little bit more later. And all you have to do to win is comment. Comment on this stream. If you have a question, if you have something you're excited about, something you're worried about, you just want to give us a shout out, you want to just tell us how amazing you think Lead Heroes is, drop a comment below. If you think I'm the better looking owner of ESI, drop that in the comments. Everyone would love to hear that.
Yes, everyone would love to hear that. better beard, that's for sure. Better beard.
Look at this thing, guys. This is insane.
Yeah, I every time I start to grow a beard, I come to the spot where it's starting to fill out a little bit, and then I'm like, this looks really bad.
Just push past it.
And then I shave it off.
You have to keep letting it grow. Keep letting it grow. I have spots that you can't tell when it gets long. I'm telling you, there's like a bald spot right here, but you can't tell.
Now I'm going to be looking for it on every interaction.
Can't see it, dude. It's covered. So yeah, comment below. That enters you into the giveaway. You can also get more than one entry into the giveaway if you go back and comment on one of our previous streams from this week. So there's 3 other streams. Comment on each stream. That gives you a total of 4 entries into the giveaway. The giveaway will happen today, this afternoon. So stay tuned. We'll be giving those away. That being said, Mr. Brindle, what else do we have going on today?
Yeah, with everything we've had going on this week, we've had a lot of breaking news for you guys on the show to kind of cover. It seems like we haven't even had a second of free time to really talk about much between, news that's come out, conversations about Walmart,
yes.
All different types of important topics. We haven't really had any time to talk about my new book that just came out. We actually dropped it on Monday publicly for the ESI AEP kickoff webinar. And that's the only time we've really talked about it. I think I might have posted it once in the Facebook group. But for the most part, it's been relatively not discussed. So I'm going to share my screen and kind of go into it and kind of just talk for just a couple of minutes here on what the book is about. So I give you guys my first book in several years. The last book I wrote was a Superstar, What Separates the Top Producing Insurance Agents from the Mediocre Ones. But it kind of dawned on me, especially with my books for agents. I've written a couple books for consumers. I've written a couple books for agents. I hadn't written a book about how to build an actual agency, right? I'd written multiple books about how to be a fantastic producer on your own pen and how to rack up a lot of business. But I hadn't written that book about building the actual business around it after that. And so, I wanted to take some time and do that. I've been working on this book for about a year. I started and stopped, and a couple times even started over because I just wasn't satisfied with what I had. And I put a lot of time into this book. It is 235 pages, which is one of my longer books. I think it might be the longest book I've written. People have criticized me before that my books are a little short. This one's a little longer. But yeah, guys, I bring you 7-Figure Insurance Agency, a blueprint for how the best agencies dominate. Available on paperback, available as an ebook as well. There's people that have ordered the book so far, and they've gotten the physical copies before I have. I got some proofread copies. They're not like the official copies. We haven't even gotten the actual copies yet. And some of you that have ordered them have them before we do, which is hilarious. It's weird that Amazon wouldn't give them to us ahead of time, in its full completed form. But it looks like Randy dropped a link to it in the chat. If you do want to pick it up, it's a book. It's $25, very inexpensive. And I dumped a lot of my experiences and just tactics that's kind of helped us really grow ESI into this book. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I really put a lot of work and effort into making it good.
It's really come full circle. I think if you look at Christian's 3 books now that are specifically geared towards you guys as a producer, it was, how do you become a 6-figure agent? How do you become, a superstar producer from a mediocre producer? So it's kind of this evolution of, if you're an independent agent, you're trying to start an agency, he's really set the blueprint, really given you guys the building blocks here. So if you enjoyed at all either of those other books, I think you'll really enjoy this one. I'm super excited to get my physical copy. I haven't gotten one yet. And I'm going to have my bookshelf here. I think I'm going to get it put back up today. Mm-hmm. So it's going to go right there on my bookshelf. It's going to be awesome.
You want to have a setup like mine. I can't say that I blame you.
I don't feel as smart without a pile of books behind me like you. I got to really sell it.
No matter where I am broadcasting from, there is a pile of books behind me at all times, whether I'm at home or whether I'm here. It's a necessity.
I love it.
But yeah, guys, make sure to pick up a copy of it. It's less about writing new business as a single agent. There's a little bit of that in there, but it's more about, the X's and O's, the systems and processes, hiring, marketing, branding, just overall big picture items that a lot of you probably really need to know about. And so, I hope you enjoy it. I really put a lot of work into it. And I'm excited about the book. I am. And I'm excited for a lot of you guys to read it and to kind of hear some of your guys' feedback on what you guys think.
Whoop, whoop. Grab it. Link is in the comments below. Education's important. Education's important, you guys. Never, I'm a big fan of the concept that there's always something to learn. I think the second that you start to think as an individual, everything, it's kind of game over. I'm especially in the marketing world, which is where I live a lot of the times. I'm always wondering, like, what's other people doing? What's this like? How can I get better? What are things that I'm doing that I could do better? So, always learning.
Yes.
That being said, to kind of transition into our main topic today, which we've gotten tons of questions from you guys about the preset appointments. So we want to spend some time on today's episode, especially before the actual giveaway later this afternoon, and kind of go through the program a little bit soup to nuts so you guys can understand how it works. Before I get into it, though, I wanted to kind of bring up this analogy. Christian, have you ever been trying to buy something and it ends up being oversold. I'll give you an example. It hasn't happened to me, but I had a family member who actually bought a plane ticket to, it was a flight. So they actually bought a plane flight, and then they get to the airport that day and the flight was oversold. And they were trying to get somebody to give up their ticket because somehow, which I don't understand how that works, but somehow they had oversold. Yeah, I'm like, wouldn't that, unless there's just so many different like brokers trying to sell plane tickets, right? Because you think about all the different websites that you can buy a ticket on, somehow the plane had gotten oversold. So that was like 5% oversold. And so they were trying to get people off the flight. They were like, hey, will you give up your seat and we'll give you like an extra ticket for another flight another time, and then we'll put you on a later flight. Have you ever seen anything like that or been a part of anything where it was over capacity?
No, and I've seen some pretty wild things when it comes to flights. I saw a situation one time where the pilot didn't show up for work.
Talk about a no-show.
I saw something one time where they boarded us onto a flight. I want to say this was this year. They boarded us onto a flight. Everyone got seated. The whole song and dance. And then over the loudspeakers, they're like, ladies and gentlemen, we decided to just do a random check on... No, wait. Ladies and gentlemen, we just decided to do a random check on the plane and discovered that there is an issue that makes it unsafe to fly. We're going to need everyone to get off so we can take care of this. And like 6 hours later, I was flying out. Something like that. We had to they boarded us all and then checked the plane.
Yeah,
I've seen all kinds of wild things. I've never, though, seen that one.
Yeah.
Steering back to the line of conversation.
Right. So, and the reason I bring this up, you guys, is not last AAP, but I think it was the AAP before that, was like about 2 AAPs ago. We oversold our capacity to generate these preset appointments at Lead Heroes. We weren't as focused on our total ability to generate these preset appointments, because obviously, generating leads through paid ads, that's really scalable, right? Mm-hmm. You put money into the machine, you can get the lead out, right? You know what your cost per lead is, and that can scale a lot. But we are using humans. We're not using AI, although what's hilarious is I did have an agent at one point try to DM me and say, hey, you're using AI to generate these leads, these appointments. I'm like, no, we're not using any AI. All humans. This is all human interaction. And that element, the human element, is much more difficult to scale. We spent a lot of time scaling up. We have a really great system, great infrastructure, but what we're trying to focus on and not have a repeat of is really overselling our capacity. We also just don't want to try to scale to the moon when we have so much going on already with AEP at ESI. So we have a capacity amount. We're probably around 70%, coming up on 80% of what our total capacity is for these preset appointments. So we do have the promotion right now. It goes until Wednesday next week. If we were to completely sell out before then, there's a chance we'd have to pull, because again, I don't want to take a bunch of orders on that we can't fulfill. So we are kind of watching that number right now to see if we're going to hit our total capacity or not. But I just wanted to put that out there because, I know there's other companies, other programs that might try to take as many orders as possible. And that's just not how we operate. We try to keep it really high quality. And that means there's not an unlimited amount because we're focused on quality over quantity. So that being said, I am going to pull up a few slides for you guys and kind of get into some of the nuts and the bolts.
The nuts and the bolts.
Give me just a segunda. Segunda.
Chitty boom, tambalino, chitty boom, tambalino.
What is going on? Oh, Lord, have mercy on my soul. All right, I've got it pulled up. Shit, I'm like picturing you like
Tambarina, boom, chitty boom, tambarina.
Oh, never a dull moment here on the pod, you guys. Okay,
Never.
here we go. Share screen. Okay. Can you see my screen, good sir?
I can indeed.
Awesome. So, preset appointments for AEP 2026. Guys, again, if you have any questions about these, feel free to drop a comment on the stream. Obviously, you can reach out to leads@leadheroes.com as well at any time. So Lead Heroes originally started about 10 years ago now, if you can believe it. It was in 2015 as an agent that I myself was struggling with how to generate more appointments because, again, I was spending about half my work week literally trying to generate appointments for myself. I'm calling leads and what a huge time suck that turned into. And all I could think about after doing that for about 2 years consecutively was how much more efficient, how much more could I produce if I had someone who could generate appointments for me? And it just got to the point where I couldn't stand it anymore. So I tried hiring all over. Here in the United States, I tried Jamaica, Pakistan, India, South America, Mexico, and ultimately what I found worked best was the Philippines. And it worked so well that it turned into a full-blown call center today. So we have over 300 people in our call center. They operate out of the Philippines. They help us generate these quality preset appointments and our call verified callback leads that we offer as well for turning 65, Medicare supplement, and final expense. So today, though, I want to talk to you specifically about the preset Medicare appointments with scope of appointment. So we talked about this yesterday, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but the old way versus the new way. We're talking about Walmart yesterday because an agent had posted in the group about it. And again, that's kind of the old way, in my opinion, is you're sitting in a retail store, you're waiting for word of mouth, you're waiting for someone to come up and talk to you, and you're kind of being reactive instead of proactive. You're waiting for that sale to happen versus doing something like having an appointment scheduled where you can be proactive and I'm going to talk to this many people who are actually interested and want my help. So again, the new way here, having pre-scheduled appointments based on your availability, your calendar, and your targeted areas. They can be face-to-face or they can be over the phone. For phone, we call that statewide.
Speaking of Walmart and that conversation yesterday,
Yes.
can I play that video clip?
Yeah, do you have it?
About it? Yeah, I don't mean to derail, but I thought it was very relevant in what you're talking about here.
Yeah.
Up.
I'm gonna pause it for this for a second.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna share my screen, and then we'll get right back into what
I was gonna ask you if you had posted that, by the way.
I didn't.
Walmart Center.
Shoppers, please be sure to check out Walmart's Medicare plan options for our senior shoppers today. Do not go talk to that agent who's. Thank you.
Depends, attention shoppers, Depends Diapers is currently on sale. Pick up a pack of 15 for $5.
And make sure to get your Medicare plan to Walmart. That agent that you walk by. Thank you for shopping at
Walmart. Episode 153, you guys. If you missed where that came from, gosh, amount of time we've had to spend on Walmart. It's crazy. But again, I made a promise to you guys, and I'm sticking to it. Every time I see someone post about Walmart in the group, it will be discussed. So we'll jump back into this here.
Please continue. I'm sorry.
Yes. No. I love it. I love it. All right. So it can be face to face. I'll spend an extra second here on this. So for face-to-face preset appointments, we do ask for an area that's multiple counties typically, unless it's one really, really big county that's super populated. You can do zip codes. We got asked this question the other day, but we're probably going to need a lot of zip codes in order to make it work. So just keep that in mind as you're kind of thinking about the area that you want to market to. Telephone preset appointments, where those are going to be priced a little differently. You'll see that towards the end here. So those are statewide. That's how we kind of define what's a telephone appointment versus a face-to-face appointment. If you're doing a telephone appointment, you're targeting statewide or multi-state. So real world experience, I had a couple review videos. I don't want to, we're kind of limited on time today, so I'm trying to go through this a little bit quicker than I normally would. So I'm going to just play this first one for you guys. This is from an agent named Fred.
I wanted to share my experience and review with the Lead Heroes AEP preset appointments. I purchased them last year and had some really good success. Doing it again this year for AEP. The things that I like about it, you've heard the concept time versus money. I believe it takes both, but definitely if you have a system in place where you can save time by outsourcing that, getting someone to set appointments for you, capture the scope of appointment, and basically wake up and have appointments on your calendar is an amazing thing. So basically my expectations this year and expectations before, even last year, realizing those appointments are there, but you still have to sell them. Still have to reach out. Not every single one is going to keep the appointment. Not every one of them is going to be a sale. So just being realistic in my expectations, I know that my close rates are going to be a certain amount. I look at the dollars that I expect to get in return, and I do come out ahead and I grow my book. Pretty much like my results have been at least a 50% or more contact rate of someone who's serious. Out of that, probably overall a 30 to 35% appointment rate. And out of that, probably a 20 to 25% close rate overall. So do the math on that for yourself. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And I was able to grow my book last year. I'm hoping this year. So this will be a little background on myself. This will be my third annual enrollment. Been in the insurance industry for over 20 years, but in the Medicare arena, going on my third year. I'm hoping to have my first 100+ enrollment year. Come close last year. I think I got about 80. Grew my book by about 80 last year. The year before my first year, I had a great year. Thank goodness. Grew my book during AEP. I did about 70. That was a lot of retail, a lot of time sitting around. This year, I don't have time to do that. So I'm investing in these leads. So those are my expectations. Those are my goals. I only do face-to-face.
So we'll kind of stop it there. You can continue watching that. It's actually on our website, the QR code there. If you were to scan it and go to that page, you can see the rest of that. And then we have another video from another agent you can watch as well. What I love about what Fred shared there is, one is his experience. That was literally his second AEP that he had used.
Wild.
He was using these presets, and it was literally just his second AEP ever. And he had those types of results. And I also say too, his area, I think, is probably a little bit more competitive than maybe some other areas, just based on his location and doing it all face-to-face. So I think that is such a conservative estimate that he gave you, but it was also very realistic, right? So I think you can do at a minimum what Fred just shared there, if not better. And I know that's another big question we get a lot is, how many appointments are actually going to keep their appointment? How many appointments am I actually going to sell? And there you go. You have it from a real life agent kind of sharing their experience. So since we've started doing these preset Medicare appointments with scope of appointment back in, I want to say it was 2020 or 2021 that we launched, we have generated more than 100,000 of these preset appointments. So this has really been tried and tested over the years. So you get to speak with someone that's pre-qualified. They're interested. They know it's you. You know, we're handling the opt-in, so we're actually utilizing the Meta platform. Another question we get a lot of is where's the traffic coming from? Where are these people coming from? Comes 100% from the Meta platform that these are getting generated. And then we're having our team contact them to schedule that appointment. And if you are looking for examples of the ads that we're actually using, you're welcome to shoot an email over to leads, L-E-A-D-S, leads at leadheroes.com, and they can actually shoot you those examples if you'd like to take a look. So again, pre-screened leads that we're targeting based on your area. This is compliant opt-in information. So we're adhering to all of the CMS rules, including one-to-one consent. So this is a big one. We saw 2024 final rule essentially got tossed. However, the one-to-one consent piece of this did not. So this is still something that is required. They need to know who it is that is getting their information, and they have to say yes. The beneficiary has to say yes, and that's part of the beauty of our process is when they opt in to Lead Heroes, we're getting that one-to-one consent. And then when we're essentially exchanging that data to you, the producer or the agent, we are saying, hey, you know, Susie Senior, or hey, Mrs. Jones, we've got agent Christian Brindle here. He's going to be working with you. He'll be out in your area tomorrow, Thursday. Is it okay if we have him contact you, or is it okay if we have him, you know, show up tomorrow? And then we get that affirmative. So that's how we're able to kind of transfer that one-to-one consent compliantly. We record everything. So this is, again, an important piece of CMS rules, and getting that scope of appointment is another very important thing that obviously we all know you have to have before you can make that presentation. So we are doing a verbal scope of appointment as part of this preset appointment process. We're also going to have that recorded, and we're going to give you a copy of that recording so you can have that for your records to stay in compliance. It's also just a good thing to have in general. Even if no one checks you on it, this is something you absolutely should have. So we make sure every single agent has this with every single preset appointment that we generate. 48-hour rule, we talked this to death the other day. It's one, in my opinion, one of the silliest rules of all the CMS rules that exist. But again, this is something that we're handling for you guys. So we're actually going to, from the time we talk to them, make sure that when that appointment gets scheduled for you, the agent, it is going to be past 48 hours that we capture that appointment. So again, another piece of compliance, you don't have to worry about that. We're handling for you. And again, the phone recording, I mentioned that already as well. So you have to keep the entire phone recording. That's part of the rules. And we're going to make sure you have that for your records. The delivery, and again, this is another question we'll get quite often. The delivery of these preset appointments to you can come in a few different ways. So I highly recommend having your own virtual or digital calendar system set up. One tool that we are a big fan of is Calendly. Calendly can connect to a lot of other calendars like Google Calendar. With Calendly, we can see if there's time slots that are available or if there's time slots that have already been taken. So it can actively be working with your schedule as you're going during AEP. I know how busy you guys are. And so there might be days that maybe you don't have any availability. So we just have to slot these appointments on a different day. So Calendly is a great option. Go High Level, you know, shout out to 7-Figure CRM. That's our white label for Go High Level. Has its own built-in calendar function that's very similar to Calendly. Works really well. We can integrate directly into that. Any CRM system we can really integrate into. It's a one-time $200 fee. You'll see that on the website if you're looking at purchasing some of these preset appointments. But that's, again, the beauty of having a CRM connected to these preset appointments is making sure that those automated reminders are going out. The key to success, and we're actually going to do a webinar on Monday that gets deeper into how to really be successful as an agent with these preset appointments. So make sure the link's in the comments on this stream right now. you can find that in the Facebook group. We actually created an event, the Figure Medicare Facebook group for this, for that webinar on Monday. But part of being successful with this is having typically at least 2 reminders go out by text or by email. I don't recommend calling ahead. I think if you call ahead before the appointment, you're really just giving them another opportunity to say, hey, I'm not interested, or hey, you know what, my plans changed. But if you just had like a text reminder or no reply email go out, that's just like, hey, you have an appointment tomorrow. Hey, there's an appointment in an hour. I think that's a great way to increase your show rate. And historically, that's kind of what we've seen. So again, you can just focus on presenting and not worry about getting tied up in all of the compliance. If you are doing all of this yourself, everything that we just went through there, you're contacting the leads, you're managing your schedule, you're trying to make sure you're going past 48-hour rule, you're trying to get all the scope of appointments yourself, bang, 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 you're trying to do all this. It might not sound like a lot of time, but it will start to really eat into your schedule week after week after week. I was estimating the other day, anywhere from 100 to 200 hours, honestly, over the course of AEP, if you're trying to do all of this yourself versus having someone else do it for you. So something I like to highlight here really quickly is the marketing versus communication as per CMS guidelines. So here's the key difference. Communication is general information that is being shared with the beneficiaries. So it's typically geared towards educating or informing, hey, click here if you'd like to learn more about all of your options. If you'd like to speak with a licensed broker, click here. And that doesn't require CMS review, versus marketing terminology where you have specific plans, premiums, or specific plan benefits that are being discussed. Click here if you would like a 0 premium plan in your county. Click here if you want the Humana plan that has Part B give back. That's examples of marketing communication. And again, that is the purpose of that's to persuade or to promote those specific plans. And the marketing communication, every single piece of it has to be reviewed, versus communications, it doesn't have to be reviewed. So, what counts as marketing versus what counts as communication? There's a couple of examples I want to get into here. So again, that's what I just talked about there, the premiums, benefits, etc. So communication, Swell Coverage is now offering Medicare Advantage in Nowhere County. Call for details. Reminder letters, get your flu shot at $0 copay with network pharmacies. Marketing, Swell Health offers 0 premium plans in Nowhere County. TV, this is a great one. This is the one I really like to show because a lot of you guys will see these TV ads every AEP. I know I do. I go to the gym. I'll see them on all month long for the entirety of AEP. Call us to hear about our plans. They're typically really vague, and they're vague on purpose because it's going to be classified as communications, and they know they don't have to get every single piece of information to go through CMS review. So again, kind of a summary table there. Communications, general info to educate, marketing to influence enrollment or retention. Communications does not have to be CMS reviewed. Marketing does. So with this program, again, we're trying to help you guys save time. You're not sitting around twiddling your thumbs, sitting in a store, listening to all the Walmart shoppers. Ultimately, this is going to promote higher conversion rates, more engaged and qualified prospects. So scalable results, the more appointments you can fit into your calendar, the more enrollments you're going to ultimately have, the more commissions you're going to earn as an agent. And getting started is fast and simple. We can typically onboard you guys pretty quickly. It's just a quick communication with our team to confirm your area, confirm your schedule, and kind of what tools you're using to have those appointments delivered to you. So yeah, that's it. It's as simple as just picking how many appointments you're looking for in your areas, when you want them to start. This could be you as an individual agent or as an agency. And there's no long-term contracts. Very flexible options as far as engagement goes. There's plenty of other companies out there that try to really lock agents in, make them come month after month after month, come back and continue to have to pay. That's not how we operate at Lead Heroes. We already kind of talked about the calendar integration there. And real-time updates. So if you do have a calendar connected, which I highly recommend, you'll see those after we set the appointment. Our QA team reviews the appointment, make sure it is qualified, and then it will show up almost in real time on your calendar. So you'll see those get set. Trying to avoid double bookings, again, using a calendar that's connected to your system already, so we know what's going on. Complete visibility, designed to integrate into what you're already doing. So if you're ready to scale this AAP, right? We talk about there being blood in the streets, potentially more opportunity than ever before. This is a great AAP to grow. So any questions I'm happy to get into. I don't know if we have any right this second, but I'll mention the discount we have going on. So you can save $200 or more based on how many presets you order. Normally, a face-to-face preset appointment would be $99 per preset. And right now you can get preset appointments for $89 for face-to-face. And if you order 100 or more, that drops to $81. And that might sound like a lot to you guys. I get it. But again, we try to really illustrate why the cost is the way it is. This is not a lead, right? This is not someone who clicked on an ad. We're going through all of this process for you. We are managing your calendar. We're doing, again, all the compliance hurdles here, the scope of appointment. So, as far as buying your time back, that's really what you're seeing in this cost. I'll also mention too, comparatively to other preset appointment programs that I've seen, this is extremely cost effective. There's a lot of other preset appointment programs out there that charge a lot more than this, believe it or not. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can go do kind of your own research on that. But I think ultimately that's a huge asset to be able to get appointments at this price point. So this promotion ends next Wednesday. So we've got 5 days left where you can actually save on preset appointments for this AAP. Don't wait on this. Again, even if we sell out before Wednesday, this promotion might end even sooner. So I'm still we're monitoring that as we're going here, but 5 days left, ends Wednesday, September 17th at midnight. Take advantage of this discount while it's still here, you guys, and have the biggest, best AAP yet, right? I mean, I think that's what everyone should be shooting for. Randy, I appreciate you. He dropped a link to YouTube for the full presentation on this. So if you wanted to catch the replay of this presentation, it is in there. Christian, did I miss anything? Anything you want to add to this?
No, I don't think so. I just wanted to kind of reiterate one thing that you mentioned at the beginning, and that is that we're going to be giving away preset appointments, 10 to 3 different individuals, and to be entered in, you just have to comment on either this stream today or one of our other streams on the podcast in the Facebook group throughout the week. There are some questions in the chat. I kind of went through and responded back to several of them, but I thought it would be beneficial to kind of go through them just so anybody that's listening on the audio can kind of hear the answers as well, and also other platforms. Great question from our friend Nicole that I didn't get a chance to answer yet. Are the appointments scheduled throughout AEP all in the beginning of October? So
great question.
Great question. It's kind of at your discretion, right? You can kind of let us know when you want them to start, and we will work around your schedule in terms of when you want them to go. You have a lot of control in terms of the delivery of these. So
yeah,
it could be.
I'll just add to that, some agents are like, hey, Monday, September 29th, I want to start seeing these on my calendar, right? And I want 12 of these a day starting the end of the month. Other agents are like, hey, you know what? I want to take advantage of this now. I'm going to sign up now, but I need to get through my own book. And I have a pretty big book, and it probably won't be till the end of October that I'll start having these come in. And everything in between that, right? Some are like, hey, I'm going to be busy, but I want to try to get a couple of these on my calendar every day as I'm going. So we can really kind of mold this to your schedule and based on what your needs are.
Nicole, I'm also going to send you a private message on something as well, just related to the Inner Circle program that you're a part of. So watch for that.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Raise the roof. Okay, I'll scroll here. I'll see if I can see any of these other questions because, like you said, I think answering those, especially for our audio-only listeners, might be beneficial here. Are these in-person appointments or... Okay, are these... So they can be in-person appointments. So one thing to clarify that I don't think I mentioned, that this typically comes up every year, is we'll get an agent that buys preset appointments and they'll say, please send them to my office at this address. And we've tried that historically many times. It is very, very difficult to schedule a preset appointment and to get beneficiaries to get in the car and drive to your office, even if they're just down the street. It's a lot more work versus having you, the agent, show up at their house to run that appointment. So if it's a face-to-face appointment, that means we are setting that appointment for you, the agent, to go see them at their house. I do want to clarify that, but it can be over the phone. And the way that we structure, what the difference between a face-to-face or a phone appointment is statewide. So if you're doing phone appointments, we are expecting you to have a target area that's statewide or even potentially multi-statewide. So great question, though. So is it cost? So normally we'll sell these in, sorry, I'll read the question. I forget for the audio only audience. So the question is, would you consider selling in smaller batches, or is it not cost effective to go under the 20 minimum? So right now with this promotion, the minimum is 20. Once this promotion's over, if we still have availability left, the minimum will drop to 10, but the price will go up. So that's the trade-off right now with the savings, is we are asking for a little bit higher commitment to go to that 20 presets. I personally think that 20 is the best number for you guys to really get a solid sample size. I don't feel like 10 is necessarily enough to give you a full bite. So that's a part of the thing, is even if we were at a minimum of 10, I'd still recommend getting at least 20. With the promotion, though, right now, and the discount you can take advantage of until Wednesday next week, that's September 17th, you do have to order a minimum of 20. So yeah, great question, Matthew. Do you prefer Calendar instead of Gmail? Calendly. So Calendly has some built-in automated reminder features. That's why I like Calendly. The other thing with Calendly is it can connect to other calendars. So if you're using Gmail, you can sign up for a free Calendly account and you can connect your Gmail calendar to it. So it's really, really simple in that way. So if you don't have any sort of calendar system that you're utilizing right now, Calendly is a really great free option. And I think there's like a paid version you can upgrade to for like text reminders and stuff. And that's not necessarily a bad option either. And it's really cheap. It's like $10 a month that you have it. But outside of that, from a CRM perspective, Go High Level, AKA 7-Figure CRM, we have a great system in place. That's another great option for delivery of these preset appointments. Do you find face-to-face more effective or have you observed a percentage difference? Great question, Daniel. So it's definitely more effective in the sense that you'll close more. So there's a trade-off with telesales, selling over the phone versus selling face-to-face. And this isn't just, I think this is kind of across the board, but we've also seen it with the preset appointment program. With face-to-face preset appointments, you'll probably close more. You'll probably have a higher closing percentage. Again, Fred, his second AEP ever, he was closing 20 to 25%. We had an agent on the stream the other day who commented he was closing 50 to 60% of his presets.
He said specifically 60 on our
60%.
Wednesday stream. Yeah,
Lance, I believe his name was.
Yes.
So Lance was saying he would close 60%. So if you're selling face to face, there's a possibility you're closing as many as half of your presets, right? If not more. So selling over the phone, getting to that type of closing percentage is going to be tough. I don't know. I honestly don't think I've heard a telesales agent closing half their presets.
No.
So you'll close less with the phone appointments, but the trade-off is you can work a lot more phone appointments in a day than if you're trying to drive all over running face-to-face appointments. So that's kind of the trade-off. I will say if you're a brand new agent, it might be an easier start to go the face-to-face route before getting on the phone. Not that doesn't apply to everyone, but just something I'll throw out there. But, so you run face-to-face appointments, maybe you can only get to 6 or 8 in a day, but maybe if you're doing phone appointments, you could do 12 or 14 in a day sitting there at home. So even if you're closing less or sitting in your office, so even if you're closing less, you might write just as much business, but maybe your CPA is a little higher. So it's just kind of a trade-off, Yes, absolutely. Go high level. I think that's all the questions that I'm seeing right now. So again, guys, we are kind of getting towards the old top of time.
Top of time.
So head over to leadsat.leadheroes.com. Send an email over to leads, L-E-A-D-S, leads@leadheroes.com. If you guys have any other questions, you can just head over to also leadheroes.com and you'll see a bunch of information over there, or give us a call, 844-743-7637. We got a great support team in place who can help you get that order placed before this promotion's over, before AAP starts. And we did it. Super excited, you guys. And don't forget, again, Freebie Friday. Here's my final thought. Freebie Friday is today. So we're going to give away 30 presets for free. This is about a $3,000 value. We're going to give away for free today, right here in the 7-Figure Medicare Agent Facebook group. All you have to do is comment on today's stream or one of the previous 3 streams in the group. That automatically enters you into the giveaway. We're going to do a random name wheel spin. We do this every time we do the giveaways. And then we'll post that and tag the winners, and we'll make sure you guys get those set up for you ASAP. So those are my final thoughts, Mr. Brindle. Final thoughts for you.
Yes. Guys, these are just such a unique type of way to prospect and kind of grow your book of business and sell during AEP. There's a lot of agencies that have used them for several years now. When Glenn first introduced the program pre-merger a couple of years ago, it was super innovative and different, and it still is. There's still really nothing quite like it. Even other preset appointment programs out there, and there's not many, they cost a lot more. They can't deliver the volume. Like, you order it today, you'll get it in February type of deal. And you're just not going to have that with this program that we got going on. There's nothing really quite like it. And it's one-to-one consent compliant, scope captured. I mean, what else could you ask for? So make sure that you get in on this while you can. You have 5 days remaining of the discounted prices being available. So we certainly hope that you guys take advantage. And with that being said, we appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. regardless if you watched live, whether you watched on the replay, or whether you watched audio or video. Make sure to give us a like, comment, subscribe, 5-star review, whatever the platform of your choice will allow you to do. We certainly appreciate the support. And we'll see you guys on the next one of the 7 Figures or Bust podcast. Here's to your massive success, and here's to crushing your preset appointments this AEP. Thanks, everybody.